The sights on it are just factory, which is pretty lame. The magazine release button here is a lot chunkier than on my last Glock, and I really like that.
The slide release is ambidextrous on both sides. The safety is ambidextrous on both sides.
The Nintendo Zapper Ruger LCP, my Wolverine LCP2.
This is a variant of the gun that John Wick used in John Wick 1. He used a P30L, so it's a little bit longer.
But you can see the 38 Special along the top, and it looks like it did almost as much damage as the 38 Special, even though the bullet's only about half the size.
Shoot her! Yes! For science.
Oh! Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing, well, kind of a tabletop firearms review and kind of just a little video for me to vent. This video is basically going to be why I bought a Sig Sauer P365. I never in a million years thought I would make a video like this because, for those of you that follow this channel, you know that I am in love with this gun. And I still am. And I still don't think there is any better gun on the market than this gun. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield 380 EZ Performance Center model. And it is the sweetest gun I have ever seen in my life. So, why get another gun? Well, that is the million-dollar question. Background. I just started a new job working armed security at a construction site. This is my former duty gun. This is the Beretta 92 FS. I still think that this is a heck of a nice gun. But, you know, I was using this gun because it held a ton of rounds, laser sighting, the whole shebang. And when I'm working at a strip club, and I know that there are thugs there that have automatic weapons in their car, I need all the firepower I can get. And so this was a good gun for me. However, at the construction site, I'm not dealing with thugs. I'm dealing with homeless people and maybe a vandal here and there. People that probably aren't even going to be armed, and people that aren't going to be in groups, more than likely. So this gun, for that job, is a bit of an overkill. I was actually considering carrying this gun to work, and I ran that by my gun instructor, and there were a couple problems with that. Number one, there is no duty holster on the market for this gun at this point in time. Secondly, it's a 380, and every single person that I talked to said a 380 is not a good round to be carrying while you're on duty. And thirdly, it won't make it through the annual shooting qualifier because it doesn't hold enough rounds. It needs to hold at least 13 plus 1 in order to make it through the shooting qualifier. So because of that, that eliminated this gun from the equation. So what I could have done is just continue to carry this gun while I'm on duty, and this gun while I'm off duty. But the problem with that is, I'm taking two guns to the range every single time I go out there and practice, which means I have to divide my training time between two different guns. I already don't get to the range enough. None of us ever do. And so my range time is very, very valuable. So I wanted to carry one gun that I could carry on duty, that I could carry off duty, and that would be able to pass the shooting qualifier. Enter the Sig Sauer P365. Now, there are a few things I like about this gun. Obviously, the big one is the fact that it holds 9mm instead of 380. It also holds plus Ps, if you want to do that sort of thing. It also has many magazines available for it. This is the one I carry while I'm off duty, This itty-bitty little magazine holds 10 rounds. So even when I'm off duty, I've got 10 rounds, or 10 plus 1, of 9mm, which is a pretty big deal. Now, one of the reasons I bought this gun instead of the Springfield Hellcat, which holds 13 plus 1, is because I got a really, really good deal on this one for $500 plus 3 12-round magazines. This is the 12-round magazine, and this is what I carry while I'm on duty. I basically have 3 of these, which I still think is major overkill for my job, but more than adequate for what I'm doing. So I've got 3 of these, and this gun, and one gun that I can carry 365 days a year, which is why it's called the P365, and one gun that I have to take to the range and train with. It's also got a couple of other things going for it. As you can see, it's considerably smaller than even my former daily carry, which is pretty cool. It's very, very easy to conceal this gun, especially with the 10-round magazine with just the finger extension. Now, I got the pinky extension because I can almost get, I've got pretty small hands, and I can still almost get all of my fingers around this gun. So I could technically carry this with just the flush flat magazine. But after taking this to the range, I realized that I need a little bit of extra grip down there, because that really makes a difference in your shooting. And so I decided to go ahead and get the pinky extender. Now, I have already shot this gun at the range, and I am fairly happy with it. Is it as awesome as that gun is? No, it's not. It does have some pretty nice sights, and they are night sights, which is obviously nice for a job where I'm working at night. Let's see if I can get those. There we go. Now, when I took it to the range, I was shooting very, very low with this gun, because when you line up the 3 dots, it shoots low. So what I discovered was, see if I can get that on there. You line the edges up, this edge with this edge, like you would with a revolver, and it shoots very, very well. Just like that. Well, I'm assuming that that's going to show up on camera. It's very, very difficult to hold this while you're looking down the camera. But you should be able to see there that the center dot, when you've got the ridges lined up, is quite a bit higher than the other 2. But that seems to be what gives you a good shot with this gun. And that's not a difficult adjustment for me to make, because I shoot better with revolvers. So lining up these 3 based on the ridges is what I do. So that works just fine for me. You know, it doesn't have the night sights that this one has. This one has the better sights. I mean, you can see that clearly on camera, that this one has the better sights. It also doesn't have as nice a trigger as this gun has. It also doesn't have the safety features that this gun has. When I retire, and I am no longer a security officer, I will be going back to carrying this gun, because this gun is just too awesome. And I think that this is more than adequate for any civilian. But everyone keeps telling me, you got to be packing 9s, and I got to be able to shoot the qualifier with it. So that's why I have decided to go with this until I retire. Now, there's been a few complaints about this gun. The trigger on this thing is really weird. The typical description from YouTube is spongy, and yes, it is very spongy. It just feels, it's got that slop right there, which isn't bad. But when you squeeze it, it just feels like a clunk, like some kind of cheap toy or something. However, out on the range, this thing shot very, very well. So there's the break right there. Nice crisp break. And then back. So there are definitely worse triggers out there than this gun. In fact, it's got a better trigger on it than the Beretta does. So that's a plus. Obviously, the concealability of it is a huge plus. This is almost the size of an LCP. My LCP2, for those of you that have been watching this channel for a while, this is only a little bit bigger than that gun. And even though it's shooting 9mm rounds, the recoil on this gun is surprisingly manageable. After the first couple rounds, I barely even noticed the recoil on this gun. Now, obviously, it's not as nice as this gun, and nothing ever will be. But for what this is, it's a very, very shootable gun. Another thing I find annoying about it is the magazine release, or the slide release button here. It's just very, very difficult to get that to release the slide. I'm assuming that will get better as the gun gets broken in a little bit. So far, this thing has only fired about 150 rounds, and I got it brand new. So I'm guessing that problem will fix itself over time. Another couple things, people complain a lot about primer drag. There was none. And I'm not saying that there was a little bit, or that it's as bad as what you've seen in other YouTube videos. There literally was none. And I will show that when I post my range video of this thing. So I've actually got very, very few complaints about the gun. I've been carrying it on duty now for about 5 weeks, and I really, really like it. I got a nice duty holster for it, one of the Serpa models, and it only cost me about $20. I practice drawing from the holster and dry firing and things like that with it. It's a lot easier to run around at work because it's so much lighter than this gun is. And the sights, I practice with the sights while I'm at work too, because there's nobody there. It's an abandoned building. So I practice with the sights while I'm at work, and even though they're not as good as the sights on this gun, you can acquire the target very, very quickly. And it's got a better than average trigger. I wouldn't call it outstanding, but it is a nice trigger, and I've got no problems with it at all. The fact that it's so compact is outstanding. I carry it in this little pouch here. These are on Amazon all over the place. This pouch was $8, and it holds my cell phone, handcuffs, an extra magazine, and the gun, which is fantastic. For the qualifier, for those of you that are in the armed security business or law enforcement or whatever, the armed qualifier, you need 14 and 11. So 14 rounds in one magazine and 11 in another. Now obviously these are not going to do the trick for that. These are for work only. So I don't have to shoot the qualifier for another year because I just went and qualified. However, they make a 15 round magazine for the P365. So all I got to do is pick up one of those before my qualifier next year, and I can shoot the qualifier with this gun. So I'm actually really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to shoot well with such a small gun. And kudos to Sig Sauer for fixing all the problems that YouTubers have been complaining about out there, because this gun, as of August of 2019, has none of the problems that other people have been complaining about. It's got no primer drag. It's got no scraping on the back of the slide, as you can see. And I fired, I don't know, 50 rounds out of this magazine. Nothing. No primer drag. You know, there's no issues. It shot well, not a single misfire. I've got no complaints about it. If I hadn't already owned this gun may be one of the best guns I've ever owned. So, I mean, that's a good thing. And, you know, now that I'll be able to double my range time practicing with this gun, I'm expecting to get very good with it very quickly. I've seen people on YouTube hit targets 100 yards away with this gun. All I got to do is get good within 10 yards, and that will be good enough to make me good at my job. So, yeah, pretty happy with the purchase. Stay tuned for more videos. I've already got a couple of me firing it and a quick range review after my first few shots and things of that nature. I am going to be documenting my progress with this gun. I know a lot of people have said that the firing pin breaks at somewhere around 2,000 rounds. So I'm going to wait until about the 3,000 round mark and do another review and just let you guys know how it's going. So, yeah, good little gun overall. Pretty happy with it. I'm not going to be selling either of these. You know, my job could change again. Maybe I'll be working in another strip club and I'm going to want to go back to a Big Bertha over here. And this gun I am planning on using as my daily concealed carry for the rest of my life once my security career is over. So these are going to be put away in a box for a while. This one will come back out eventually. If I retire and I don't need this gun anymore, then that's when I will sell it. Until then, I'm going to be using this thing, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. So anyway, just a little food for thought for you guys. Hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.